Well, welcome to the Getting Started recording for web design. And you can see that web design starts on October 21st and we go until December 20th. So it's a block 2 class. It lasts the whole block, 8 weeks or so, if you throw out the Thanksgiving week. So here we are, and I'm just going to go ahead and start right from the top. So welcome and getting started. And you see, glad to have you in web design. I look forward to a fun and educational block. And I do expect everybody to earn an A. And you think you can do it? Well, the point I'm trying to make is that you have not proven that you cannot do it. So that means you can do it, right? So earning an A is just a matter of submitting work, submitting correct work, and staying on top of the class. We'll learn more about that as we go through the block. So taking a look at this, some of the things you're going to do to get started. Of course, you're going to read the course syllabus to learn what you're going to learn in the class, how the course operates. So the course syllabus is right there, and we'll go over that in a minute. You're going to watch the Getting Started recording. That's what you're doing right now. You're watching the Getting Started recording. And as you watch the Getting Started recording, that will help you do the Getting Started write-up. That's your first graded assignment. The Getting Started write-up is right here, and we'll look at that in a few minutes. You'll also introduce yourself through the Introduce Yourself discussion. That's right here. And you'll complete my learning plan assignment. That's right here. So that's how you get started in this class, by doing these things. Then you'll also send me an email from Kmail, tell me why you're taking the class, what you think you'll learn, and the grade you want. Then on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being none and 10 being expert, rate yourself on what you know about designing a web page. Lastly, please put a web design folder on your desktop. Now, some of you might already have like an Insight folder that you created. If it were me, I would have a folder called Insight 2013Blk2. That way you know exactly what it is, and then put this web design folder inside that folder to stay organized. So these are the things you need to do to get started in this class, get started the right way, and get work submitted and start off with good points. So that's the welcome and getting started announcement. Now the other thing that goes along with this is the work for week 1. If a week 1 work, well, first of all, I always do the work for each week, and you can always find the weekly assignments in the announcement. I always divide them into Tuesday and Thursday. Main reason I do this is it would help you stay organized. You can make a more effective work schedule by using some of this information rather than just having all of it in one big column, one big list. I don't care how you do it. I mean, you could do all of this on Monday and Tuesday. You could do all this on Wednesday and Thursday, or you could do all of this on Tuesday, all of this just on Thursday, or you could do everything on Wednesday if you want. But the idea here is that I try to break it down for you to better schedule your time and your work. So for the first part of this week, you're going to do those getting started things I just talked about. So you're watching this recording, you'll do the write-up, you'll go through the syllabus, you complete the introduce yourself assignment, my learning plan assignment, and you'll read through the course orientation. So that's what you'll be doing for the first half of this week. The second half of this week, you'll go through the planning and organizing unit, which is down here. And I'll have a separate recording for this unit. That's what you do for the second part of the week. I'm going to go ahead and close that. And the thing that I always do is I plan my work, or plan the weeks, from Monday, like the 21st, through Friday the 25th. And if you stick to that schedule, then that means you won't have to worry about doing any work in this class on the weekend if you keep up to date. All right, some things to think about. Proper file names, really important. In web design, file names, it can make or break a website. If things don't link together with improper file names, then the website isn't going to work properly. It can really help you stay organized and knowing what the work is. So as an example, in the Elements of Design unit that you'll get to eventually, it says save the file as this name, invite2.html. Well, that is the exact name to save it as. Nothing different from that. And I'll focus on that. I'll preach that to you when I do the lesson recordings. Make sure you do it. So you use that exact name. So please do that. If you're in doubt, send me a K-mail and ask me what file name, but I will try to give you the correct file names every time. Assignment samples. This lesson, or in this announcement, I'll post some samples of assignments so you can get an idea of what yours should be looking like. Index of lesson recordings. Each week I will post the lesson recordings so that you can more easily get to them. You can navigate here, or you can see some links over here sometimes. But index of lesson recordings for all the recordings that I have for the course. Assignment directions. Here I'm going to do recordings for all the individual assignments you have. Now I'm not going to go through and do the assignment so that then you could just copy and watch me do it exactly, but I will go in through and explain every web design assignment that you have. And those will be individual assignment direction recordings to make it easier for you, so you just have to watch a 5-minute assignment direction recording rather than having to go through a whole lesson and then get to the assignment directions. And finally, the Live Class Connects. For now, we're doing our Live Class Connects on Tuesday, and if you miss those, then I will post the recordings, and hopefully I'll remember to record those sessions. So I'll post those recordings there for you. So that's just by way of navigating the course and how to get around and find things. Okay, course syllabus. Let's take a look at some of the important information in the class. So first of all the teacher contact information up here. So K-mail is the best way to contact me. Here's my school's home desk phone number with my extension 2010 and my cell phone in an emergency. So if you need that, you can do that too. A little bit about me. I've been a high school teacher since '89. I've taught in a regular school and I've taught online. I've coached basketball and track, and I also coordinated lots of student activities, student council, different things like that, recycling club and such. I've been a technology director and a high school counselor for a few years, and also during some of that time I traveled around the country and trained teachers how to use technology. So I've really been involved in technology, and of course learning online is an extension of the use of technology, isn't it? Great use of technology. Live in Grand Junction with my wife and son. My son Robert's a senior at Grand Junction High School. I like the outdoors. I try to hit the gym 5 or 6 mornings a week. I also like to do some reading. I hold a master's in online teaching and learning, and I did that all online. So I've been in your shoes as an online learner. I also hold a K-12 principal's license, and I did that work online. I enjoy teaching online because I can really add to students' lives, I hope, and help them succeed. And I like working with non-typical students. And when I mean non-typical, I mean students that are, maybe they face challenges that most students don't. For instance, some of my students travel around the country or around the world with their parents, and they just can't do regular school, so they're non-typical. I have some students who are full-time employees, so they work 8 to 5 every day, so they're non-typical. They do their work in the evenings. I have students who have started families early. I have students who have illnesses that keep them from regular school. So the non-traditional, non-typical type students I enjoy working with. I also like the freedom and flexibility of online teaching, and it lets me try new strategies and different approaches to help students learn. Description of the course. You'll be expected to master website creation essentials. So you're going to learn about different tools to create websites, learn how to make websites that follow copyright and ADA disability guidelines. And we'll communicate via email and Illuminator or Class Connects. And phone, certainly. The outline, well, the different units. We have the planning and organizing unit, the elements of design and HTML unit, and there is a copyright law unit. Then the what you see is what you get, which is where we're going to be using a web page editing tool. Because this one up here, elements of design unit, this one you're going to be using HTML coding to do a lot of that work. Then towards the end you have this big final project that you do, and this is going to be a personal autobiography, so it's a fun project to do. After completing this course, you'll be able to design web pages, use cascading style sheets, use tables to lay out web pages, plan and apply colors, use graphic resources, explain copyright and fair use, write proper web citations, build and maintain a portfolio of websites, and design and apply templates. Course grading. My courses are all based on 1,000, so that way you can easily determine your grade. For instance, if you have 782 points, 782 divided by 1,000 is 78.2, so it's real easy to figure your percentage. Now, as the class goes on, you can easily figure your percentage by taking the points earned that you've earned divided by possible. For instance, let's say after 2 weeks you've earned 180 out of 200. Well, 180 divided by 200 is 0.9, so that would be 90%. You can always figure that out. There will be no extra credit offered. I feel students, you earn the grade you deserve by doing the required work, so don't ask for extra credit. But at times, I might give extra points for outstanding work. So if we have a 30-point assignment, and you've gone above and beyond what most students would do, you might get a 5-point bonus or something. So if you do good work, you get rewarded for doing good work. To find your grade at any time, always go to the grade book. That's the best place. Now when you log in, not to this course, but when you log into Insight in general, of course you see all 3 of your classes and it might even show your grade there or something. That is not always up to date, but the grade book is always up to date. So if you have a question on your grade, go to the grade book. Don't send me an email saying, hey, Mr. H, what's my grade? Always go to the grade book, please. And please remember that I've adjusted some points and some work in the class, so some course pages might not be accurate because we cannot change every page. Always look at the grade book. That tells you exactly the points. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and hit the grade book. Hopefully no students have submitted work. I'll just click the first student here, doesn't matter which. And looking at this, you can see here are the points for each assignment. And as you do work, then your grade, your points will show up right here. And your total points will show up down here. And your grade to date will show up with your percent. So always go to the grade book to see your grades. Best way to do it. The lowest you can get in this class to pass is 595, so that would be a 59.5%, which rounds up to 60. So 595 is the lowest points possible to pass. Now there are going to be quizzes in each unit, and like many teachers, or unlike many teachers, I do not allow you to redo them. Instead, I provide you quiz previews in each unit, and you'll use the previews to prepare for the quiz, then you go do the quiz. As an example, planning and organizing unit, I'll scroll down here. Right here it says unit quiz preview. There's the unit quiz preview. So you'll probably print this out and then go to the unit and find these answers. Then you go do the quiz. So that's how I help you on the quizzes. I do not allow you to redo the quizzes. So please don't ask if you can redo the quizzes. I give the previews to help. So you'll do really well in the quizzes by using those previews. Class Connects. I use Class Connects differently from other teachers. I use the Class Connects as a place to get work done, not as a time to present material. To present material, I post videos of everything for that week. So on Saturday and Sunday I find time and I create the videos for the week. And then it's your job to go in and review those videos, then be ready to do work when we're in the live session. And the videos I create, they can help you with the Class Connect write-ups each week, etc. Now when we do have live sessions, and our live sessions will be Tuesday to start out, when we do the live sessions, I'll take maybe the first 10 minutes to talk about the work for the week and what you're going to be doing. Then I'll answer any questions you have about this work or old work, and then you'll stay logged in and complete some of the work. So you're putting in an hour, you're setting aside an hour anyway, so you might as well get some work done, right? And again, our sessions will be on Tuesday for this week. Hopefully they'll stay on Tuesdays, but if I have to change them, I'll let you know. Weekly lesson recordings. Weekly lesson recordings, this is where I take my time and create these recordings that I expect you to watch to do your Class Connect write-ups. Now the weekly lesson recordings, they're used for two things. They give you an overview of the work for the week, and they give you the answers to the write-ups. And you'll always see them, like this week we have a Getting Started recording, next week we have a Week 1 recording. So that's where I talk about everything you'll be doing for the week. So that's how I work those. So those are the two ways that the weekly lesson recordings are useful to you. And I also call them Class Connect or like write-up recording. So you'll see two different terms. So that's all about the syllabus. Getting Started write-up. So here's the Getting Started write-up. So you're watching this video right now, and this video is going to help you answer all these questions. Now the way the write-ups are done, the directions right here. You're going to copy and paste all this into a word processor program, like Microsoft Word or OpenOffice Word Processor. So you copy and paste it into a word processor. Then as you watch this recording, you'll hear answers, and then you can pause the recording, then go back to that word processor, and then type in the answers for the specific item. Put the answer directly below or directly next to it. So you type in all the answers for all of these as you go through the recording. Then once you have this done in the word processor, then you highlight the whole thing, the numbers, the questions, and the answers. You highlight everything in the word processor. Then you copy and paste into the Dropbox. You do not attach a file. For the write-ups, you do not attach a file. You just copy and paste directly into the Dropbox. Do it exactly as I say, please, or you'll get a dirty reply message saying, hey, read the directions, please. So you do not attach a file, you just copy and paste with the answers and everything in the Dropbox. So the Getting Started write-up, that's one piece of the work for the beginning of this week. The next part of the work is the Introduce Yourself discussion. Now in this, just 7 simple questions, just so I know a little bit about you and your classmates can learn a little bit. So you're going to post your own information, and you're going to reply to classmates. So if you want to post your own, so you have these 7 questions, you just hit respond right here below it. And when you hit respond, then you'll go ahead and you'll type your name right here, and then you will type your answers to all those questions up above. So you type 1, and then you type in your answer. 2 period, type in your answer. Then you hit post response over here. Now I'm going to hit cancel to go back to it. So you're going to post your own, and then it'll show up down here. And to go look at other people's, like you can click on I am Mr. Harrison, so you can read mine. And please notice how when I answered these, I used complete sentences with complete words. I didn't abbreviate or use text lingo. So like, what is your name and what town or city do you live? I put I am Mr. Harrison, call me Mr. H, I live in Grand Junction. So I answered in complete sentences. Please do that. And please, 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 check your spelling. You don't want this to be a piece of junk that 30 classmates look at and then they start evaluating you based on how poorly you spelled in this assignment. So please use full sentences, answer the questions fully, use real words, and check your spelling and grammar on this. Now, if you want to reply to me under mine or your classmates, which I'd like you to do, just right underneath their post, hit the word respond, and then you can respond to them. Oh, Mr. H, I used to live in Grand Junction, blah, 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 or something like that. So go ahead and make responses to some of your classmates. So that's the Introduce Yourself discussion. Learning plan. Another graded assignment. Learning plan is worth 25 points, 2.5% of your grade. Because if I do 25 divided by 1,000 for total points, that equals 2.5%. Now there are no real right or wrong answers, but you get points for completeness of your answers. Now on this, and pay attention please. On this one, you're going to copy all of this and paste into a word processing program. Then you'll answer each of them in the word processing program. And on the answers, some of them you can just delete that aren't yours. For example, on number 1, how do you plan on doing the coursework? Well, if you plan to do it faster than scheduled, then just highlight these 2 and hit delete, and then faster than scheduled will be left as your answer, correct? On number 2 down here, if you plan to do 4 to 6 hours a week, then just highlight these 2, delete, and 4 to 6 hours a week will be left as your answer. So many of them you can do that way. Others you need to type in your answers. Explain what you will do to make sure you earn the grade you want for specific things. Don't just type, I will turn in work. That doesn't mean anything. Some things you can do. I'm going to make up a schedule for the whole block to help me. I'm going to make up a weekly work schedule. I'm going to have my mom or dad look over my work before I submit it. I will have my mom or dad explain or read the directions to me in the assignment. I will go look at Mr. Harrison's lesson recordings. I will attend all the Class Connect sessions. Those are just some specific things that can help you. Number 6 down here. What are some things you can do if you do not understand an assignment? This is quite different than up here. If you don't understand an assignment, what are some things you can do? Please don't put, I will contact Mr. Harrison as the first thing, because I have tools to help you. Because if you put to contact me, it may take me a while to get back to you, and then you're just idle, not doing any work. So what you can do, you can go look at assignment samples to see what your assignment's supposed to look like. You could go look at the lesson recordings to see what I've talked about for that week. You could look at the recorded assignment directions to see what I've done for that week. You can look at the live Class Connect recordings that maybe I had for that week. So those are some things that can really help you. You can also, if you don't understand an assignment, you can maybe read the assignment to your parents and see if they can help you understand it better, or read it to a brother or sister or something like that. Last resort is to contact the teacher, because that could delay you moving ahead with your work. I would also suggest you go to the announcements, because often I will post in the announcements more information about particular assignments. Then on number 7, what background and knowledge or interest, that's just going to be your own information. So again, you'll answer these in the word processor, and then you'll include all the questions and answers in the word processor. You'll save it. This is the exact name to save it as, no other name. If you save it with another name, you're going to get 5 points off, because I've given you the exact file name here. This is practice in naming things properly. That's the exact file name, and you save it into your web design folder. Then you submit it as an attached file in the Dropbox. So this is an attached file. Attach that word processing file in the Dropbox. Very easy to do, please. Follow the directions. This is the exact name to save it as. Okay, that's the learning plan. Course schedule. Go to the doc sharing area, and up pops the course schedule. I'll click right here. And when we look at the course schedule, I would suggest you print this out, and then you could put your scores next to it when you turn in assignments, or you could put a mark through the things you completed. You could put a line through the stuff that you get completed. That would be a good way to keep track of where you are. Looking at the course schedule. This week is the planning and organizing unit. Next week, the elements of design is starting in week 2. Elements of design carries through to week 3. Week 4 is copyright law. Week 5 is WYSIWYG editor, and week 6 is WYSIWYG editor. Then week 7 and 8 we do the final project. Now, one thing you'll see that I have a number of things that you'll skip. Some of these assignments you'll skip, and some of the discussions, all the discussions we'll skip if they have any in here. So pay attention to this schedule, and again, print it out, put a mark through things that you complete, and you can even write your scores next to these, the points you earn next to each thing. And you'll notice you have Thanksgiving week off, so that's kind of nice, isn't it? Class Connects. I already talked about this. Remember, Class Connects are time for you to come in and do work. First couple minutes I'll go over assignments, answer questions you have, and then you'll stay logged in to get some work done for the live Class Connect sessions. Grading information. We already talked about this. Lowest to pass, 595. That's the lowest point you could have to pass is 595. Communications. Really important in an online environment. You need to communicate with your instructor. And for me, it's best through Kmail, because I check that on a regular basis. And that allows us to keep track of information we've shared with one another. Best way to keep current in the class is always go to the announcements. If there are updates and things, then I will post them in the announcements. Best way to do it. If you ever have a question on an assignment or the course in general, go to the announcements first, because I'll address class-wide issues there. And you might be able to get your question answered right there, rather than waiting for me to reply to a K-mail. So look at the announcements first. Now regarding K-mail, it is the best way to contact me, but you need to do it specific way. The subject line of the K-mail, always put the name of the course, so web design, and your topic. As an example, if you were having problems with the Webmaster Role assignment, you would put web design, need help with Webmaster Role in the subject line. That way I would know what course it is, and I'd have a general idea of your issue, your problem. Then in the text area of the K-mail, you would be very descriptive and say, ask me or tell me what your issue is with the Webmaster Role assignment. Whenever you send a K-mail, and the reason you have to put the course name in there is because K-mail does not show the name of the course when you send a K-mail. It doesn't tell us what class you're in. I have 140 students, and I will never be able to memorize what class everybody is in. On your K-mail, if it's a new topic, please write a new K-mail. Don't reply to an old topic, an old K-mail with a new topic and not tell me. Just write a new K-mail. That's the best way to do it. Write a new K-mail for all new subjects, please. And as I said, in the K-mail, be specific, because if you're specific, I could probably get right back to you with the solution in one K-mail, and you'd be all ready to go, rather than us going back and forth 4 or 5 times. Contacting me, phone and my extension, it's best if we schedule phone calls ahead of time rather than just calling me out of the blue, because I may be working with another student, I may be doing a class recording, lots of things, may be away from my desk, I may have chosen to work at night that day rather than working during the daytime. So we can set up phone calls and then call right there. Class Connects. I have a Class Connect called Immediate Help, and we'll look at that in a minute. And you'll link to the Immediate Class Connect, and we can be in like a meeting room together almost instantly, and I'll talk about that in a minute. I am on Skype, and I don't use it very often, but you can try to add me, and maybe we can converse via that. Finally, I'm trying to get into having some IM open. You can hit me up if you need anything immediately, and that's my IM name. I'll try to remember to get that set up and do that correctly. Teacher contact info. We've talked about this already, haven't we? So you know all that information. Now, Immediate Class Connects. As you might know, the Class Connect system we have, you can only schedule sessions to start at like on the o'clock, like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, or on the half hour, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30. Well, what if a student calls me and we're talking at 2:05 and I say, hey, let's go to Class Connect? Well, I'd have to wait till 2:30 to schedule it. But with this immediate one, you go right here, Immediate Class Connect, click right there, put your first name, last name, enter session, and then I'll go in and I'll meet you there in a private meeting room. But we do set these up ahead of time. I mean, I'm not just sitting there waiting for students to show up. So we set it up ahead of time, and then we go in and meet in there. We can work together. So that's how the Immediate Class Connects can help you. So those are all of my content for this class, but there are also some other things that K-12 has. So academic integrity, you want to read through that. Just talks about how to be a good student, how to avoid plagiarism, submitting your own work, some expectations, and some other ways to work more easily. Course help. This is where you can click here and you can get information about K-12 in general. It really doesn't help you specifically about this course. Questions for the course just need to come directly to me through K-mail. So those are all the general things for this class to get you going, get you started on the right foot. So in order to get going on this, of course, you're going to go to the Welcome and Getting Started. You're going to read through this, knowing what you need to do. And then you're going to go right down here to week 1, and you're just going to do all these things. Knock that out, knock that out, knock that out, knock the learning plan out, read the course orientation, then you'll go to the planning and organizing unit. And for the planning and organizing unit, I will do a separate recording for this that will tell you everything about the planning and organizing unit. You'll go in and do some of that work and do the Unit 1 quiz. So that's everything we have for Tuesday and Thursday for this week. So pretty quick, it's about a half an hour to get you off to a right start. And I would expect that you could get all of this week stuff done, including taking the half an hour to do this and doing these things down here, as well as that getting started right up. Might be an hour and a half total. And then down here, this would be probably another hour and a half. So you can probably get through the work for this week in 3, maybe 4 hours at the most. So to finish with it, stay organized, use proper file and folder names. Whatever the course says when it tells you to use a certain file name or folder name, use it and do it. And I will stress that as we go through the course. So that's all I have for you. I look forward to your work coming in. And please double check your work before you submit it. It's much better to just do it one time and do it correctly than have to redo work, isn't it? So I look forward to it coming in. Thanks everybody for your time. Bye.